God is our mighty companion and guide. JCLGF has been crossing borders and overcoming barriers to reach out and bring lost souls for Jesus Christ. Anchored on its vision, JCLGF stepped up its programs and activities to face myriad of challenges head-on. Let us look at JCLGF's 50 moments in the ministry. The seed of JCLGF bloomed through Mr. and Mrs. Percy and Priscilla Ricumeto Damaso of Capital City Baptist Church or CCBC. The burden of sharing the gospel to their relatives motivated them to start the work in Muñoz, Nueva Ecija. Initial Bible studies were conducted among the Ricumeto clan. Evangelistic campaigns started with the help of Mr. Oman Knight and other members of the Conservative Baptist Mission and the CCBC. In 1974, Muñoz Baptist Church started at the Ricumeto compound with Pastor Faustino Ardina as their first pastor. Reverend Dave Billings, a veteran church planter from Oregon, United States of America, came to MBC with his family to bring the church to maturity. Pioneering works like evangelism, Christian cantata, and drama plays were performed, which led to establishment of outreach churches in 1978. That year, MBC organized its first youth camp, themed "I Have Found It." Linda Quinto served as camp director. Pastor Jerry Olarte and Ruth Billings worked as musicians, while Lucio Rosales, Carlos June Bulalayaw, and Pastor Mario Basto acted as counselors. From 1978 to 1979, Pastor Rudy Villaray served as MBC pastor while Pastor Billings was on furlough. Joel Eystone, a member of the Missionary Assistant Corps or MAC from USA, came and assisted in the youth and young professionals ministry. In 1980, mission works were conducted in 8 barangays of Muñoz. At the same time, work began in Tandok, Narvacan, and Faigal in Guimba, Nueva Ecija. With widening activities, the church rented the Masonic Lodge in Muñoz to accommodate its increasing number of members. After 1 year in the Masonic Lodge, MBC purchased a lot in Mabini Street, Muñoz. Construction of 2-story church building was started and financed through a loan from the SIBA project Plant Up Church Together or PACT. From 1981 to 1982, John Rabley and Dave Wallstrom of MAC served as visiting workers. At the same time, Pastor June Bulalayaw became the first resident pastor of MBC as Pastor Billings had his furlough. Pastor Jerry Olarte became the new resident pastor in 1983 when Pastor Billings was again on vacation and prepping for ministry transfer. Pastor Raimundo de la Cruz was assigned as pastor of Culiat Baptist Church. A milestone in MBC history is the completion of its church building in 1984. MBC transferred from the Masonic Lodge to its own church building. 1986 was a year without a pastor, but with God's grace, ministries and activities continued with the church council and the young professionals group leading the activities. Came Pastor Danao Afuang in 1987. He served as resident pastor till 1990. Year 1988 brought more accomplishments when MBC sent Edgar Niegos, Albert de la Cruz, and Eric Mendoza for seminary studies. In 1989, MBC was renamed into its present name, Jesus Christ the Living God Fellowship. 1990 welcomed Pastor Elmore Jacob as the new JCLGF resident pastor. The International Needs Student Association was also organized, which later became University for Jesus Christ Fellowship or UJCF. JCLGF envisioned to set up a preparatory school in 1994. The plan came into fruition in 1995 with the operation of the Little Lamb Foundational Learning Center or LLFLC. It was also in 1985 that Pastor Ray de la Cruz was elected by the congregation to become their resident pastor. During the succeeding years, ministry workers were assigned in some Muñoz barangays like Linglingay, Rizal, Calisitan, and Villa Santos. At the start of the millennium year 2001, JCLGF Foundation Incorporated was founded as social arm of the church. Also in 2001, the first evangelism explosion or EE Leadership Clinic was held, followed by another batch in 2004. JCLGF sent Miss Mary Ann Dagdag as missionary in Cambodia from 2006 to 2007. JCLGF was commissioned by CBAP to do church planting in Gimba. In 2009, JCLGF celebrated 35 years of God's faithfulness with the theme Crossing Borders for Christ. The anniversary was highlighted by the publication of its Anniversary Souvenir magazine. Energized with 35 years in the ministry, in 2010, the Church Council with its chairman, Engineer Ryan Bulanhagi, crafted Vision 2020 in support of CBAP's Vision 2025. A school of leaders was spearheaded by then Elder Rodolfo Estigoy to raise new breed of leaders in support of Vision 2020 and pursue its vision, mission, and goals. During this year, JCLGF outreaches were named by its location except Villa Santos, which retained its name as Villa Santos Baptist Church or VSBC. Another group of believers in Guingin, Dupax del Norte, Nueva Vizcaya was formed into a church through the leadership of Pastor Dario Ibenga in 2012. 5 church elders requested JCLGF Maine to adopt them as daughter church. The JCLGF Council approved the adoption and named it JCLGF Guingin. Pastor Lando Quilop later on assumed leadership of JCLGF Guingin. The Lord's faithfulness continues to manifest among JCLGF churches and the LLFLC during this year. Pastor Salvador Badsnerik was hired by JCLGF to oversee the expanding youth ministry and coordinate the UJCF campus ministry at CLSU. JCLGF Culiat was also able to purchase church lot. Ministry work started in Quezon, Nueva Ecija through Sister Feli Lungalong. LLFLC constructed a 2-story school building. To accelerate JCLGF's Vision 2020, Pastor John Valdez was installed as coordinator in 2016. He spearheaded and coordinated activities to help accomplish the vision in tandem with daughter churches. Later, Pastor Valdez with wife Sister Daisy was assigned to assist the newly started work in Quezon, Nueva Ecija. Ministry work in Tulong or Daneta, Pangasinan was opened through Brother Jimmy Mandea together with Pastor John Pagaduan and Pastor Joselito Jun Galicia. In 2019, JCLGF Tulong officially became a CBAP member during the CBAP Biennial Conference in Iloilo City. Pastor Rod Estigoy was installed as senior pastor of JCLGF Maine on January 2019. 3 years earlier, he took over after the retirement of Pastor Raimundo de la Cruz. Pastor Estigoy orchestrated programs to equip existing daughter church pastors with weekly continuing education sessions, pastoral care, and mentoring. He initiated Family Day to develop and maintain healthy relationship among members through Lance Fellowship. Another fruitful ministry was established in Santa Maria, Pangasinan through Pastor Jun Galicia. The global pandemic of COVID-19 on March 2020 halted all church and field ministries due to lockdown and strict health protocols. JCLGF overcame the challenges of COVID-19. The church grabbed the power of virtual platforms like social media and live streaming for online worship services, prayer gatherings, fellowships, and meetings to sustain hope and faith in the Lord. This went on for the 2-year pandemic period. Despite restrictions, JCLGF launched relief operation called Kalingang JCLGF from March to June 2020. Focal person Pastor June Galicia raised resources and distributed relief goods to COVID-19 affected families. Message of Hope was shared through radio ministry for 1 month. Weekly leadership mentoring class led by Pastor Rod Estigoy was conducted and completed on December 2020. Cell groups were formed in July to November. Face-to-face worship service resumed on December 2020. The second surge of the global pandemic had stopped the face-to-face worship service in 2021. But nothing can stop the ministry of JCLGF churches. On January 2021, JCLGF Tulong, Pangasinan had its first worship service and church building dedication. JCLGF Santa Maria also dedicated their church building in March. Pastor Erwin Niegos was installed as youth pastor on July 10, 2022, Vice Pastor Bud Snerick, who immigrated to Canada. A reinvigorated congregation launched the Mission 20 by 50 on September 11, 2022, led by Dr. Rodolfo Estigoy as kick-off activity in celebration of JCLGF's 50th anniversary. Mission 20 by 50 is a concerted effort to establish 20 churches and fellowships, strengthen 1,000 members, and raise 1 million peso fund to mobilize the mission till the 50th anniversary. Program milestones and joint action planning of JCLGF churches was conducted on February 24 to 25, 2023 to craft strategic plans to operationalize Mission 20 by 50. The first youth mini-conference was conducted on April 6, 2023, led by youth pastor Erwin Niegos. Attendees were over 100 young people. Youth camp was also undertaken on December 27 to 29 with 82 campers coming from the main and daughter churches. Now, on its 50th founding anniversary, JCLGF is aflame in ministering and transforming lives for Jesus Christ. Mission points have been established in 4 barangays in the Science City of Muñoz, and soon, home fellowships will start. The youth ministry is booming with establishment of the Next Gen Youth Center with soft launch on March 11, 2024. The center caters to students and young people to provide them with free services on educational, emotional, social, and spiritual aspects. Led by Council Chairman Jesse Manalili, 2024 is also a year of physical improvements for JCLGF. Floor tiles were installed and church facade was renovated. The new church logo and signage were likewise fixed. Certainly, God was with us during those 50 glorious moments. Now more enthusiastic, looking beyond our Jubilee year, we will continue to draw strength and guidance from our most powerful and faithful God. Unstoppable at 50, moving beyond Golden Jubilee.